So in a seated position, and again, you don't need anything special for this. You can be seated on the floor, you can be seated on a bed, a mat, just so you're comfortable. Just allow the shoulder blades to drop down the back and just find some length through the crown of the head first of all. Almost imagine each vertebrae is just pulling away from one another. Just stretching and releasing the shoulder blades down the back. So you're creating some length between the ears and your shoulders. And we'll just start by bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and just allowing them to drop. So again, you can have any position with those legs, whatever feels comfortable. Squeezing up and then allowing everything to drop away. So any tension that you've built up throughout the week, squeeze it out and just drop it down. And again, you can always change the position, whatever feels good, just to relax and release. So maybe you've just woken up, maybe this is the first movement, maybe you've held some tension or slept funny. So just release. Let's just do one more, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and just dropping the shoulders down. And then taking those circles round, just tucking the chin in, bringing the ear towards the shoulder and releasing any tightness and any tension. Allowing everything to release and relax in the upper body. Maybe just waking up the upper body from sleep, getting it ready for the day. You might feel some really deep stretches as you go around, so again, take your time, there's no rush. Just enjoy the extra space that you're creating in the shoulders and the neck. Let's go one more time around each way. And then come back into the center. Let's just reach over to the side and just find some flow. So once you've reached over, come back through center and then reach to the other side, finding some flow all the way through and down the sides of the body, stretching to where you can. And again, just creating some extra space. So it doesn't have to be really intense, just go to where you can. And then when you're ready, come back into the center and start to walk your hands just slightly out in front of you, reaching as far as you can, and then gradually bringing those hands back behind you, pushing into the floor and start to open out the chest and the shoulders. And then a couple more times, just reaching out ahead of you, stretching into your lower back, stretch to where you can, and then gradually bringing yourself back, walking the hands, leaning into the hands to open the heart, and then one more time, walking forwards, reaching, stretching, and then gradually bringing yourself back and opening through. And when you're ready, bringing yourself back, and we're coming round onto all fours. So make sure your knees are supported. Grab an extra towel or some cushions underneath the knees if you want to. And then we're just going to release and round. So warming up and releasing through the spine. So dipping your tummy slightly and then pulling in and up. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. And you can use any breath you like. You might find that you want to breathe in as you're in that rounded position and really stretch through all and each vertebrae. Or you may find that you want to use the Pilates, the yoga breath, and just breathe in as you open the heart and dip, so as you're in that upward phase, and then exhale as you round. So it's really entirely up to you, but try and breathe into some extra space. And every time you dip and you round, hopefully feeling like the spine is just loosening up. Now our next one can feel a little bit awkward, so just come back to a neutral position. Your knees are below the hips and you're going to keep the bottom where it is, so it'll look like your bottom is sticking up in the air. The bottom is going to stay above those hips. You're going to step those hands forward, reaching as far as you can, and you're taking your chest down towards the floor, but keeping your bottom lifted. And you can turn your head to the side and rest your head down. So it's not a child's pose where we're sinking back into the heels. We're trying to keep that bottom lifted and lower your chest towards the floor and just try and relax as much as you can. So this might feel, hold that position, this might feel quite awkward for the shoulders and for the back, but just try and breathe into it as much as you can. Try not to sink the bottom back and try and just relax the chest towards the floor. It can feel really awkward, and it's really awkward to talk when you're in this position as well. So just try and breathe and relax, and again think about sticking the bottom up in the air. Take one more deep breath in and out as you relax. And then when you're ready, the hardest part is gradually bringing yourself out. So just pushing into the floor. And then just one more round for the back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. And then release. Now tuck your toes. Let's come up through to your downward dog. So tucking your toes, lifting the bottom, pulling your heels towards the floor. I'm just going to move so you guys can see a little bit. My heels. So your heels may not touch the floor. So you're just drawing them down towards the floor as much as you can, and then lifting and lengthening the bottom up. So I want you to think about 3 things grounding you. Your heels and the energy going out of the heels are going down towards the back of the mat. Your hands, I want you to imagine you're pushing forwards and up towards the top of the mat, grounding your hands into the floor. And at the same time, you've got 2 balloons on your hips, and those balloons are lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, and then you're framing your head with your arms, and you're just allowing yourself to hold and breathe there. If it feels better to add some movement with your legs, create some flow, then feel free to go there. And at any time, you can always rest into your child's pose. So let's just stretch a tiny bit further. Take a couple more deep breaths. Every exhale, try and go a tiny bit further into the stretch. And then when you're ready, we'll place the feet, or the knees down, should I say, and sit back onto those heels and just rest into your child's pose. Any way that feels good for you. Just have a rest and have a breather after that downward dog. Take a couple of breaths there. We are almost done, so just take another deep breath in and out in that child's pose. And then I want you to gradually bring yourself out of that position. And I want you to bring the soles of your feet together into a seated position. Facebook is just trying to reconnect. So soles of the feet together and just allowing the knees to drop out to the sides and just relaxing and releasing over those legs. Oh, we lost you there for a moment, Facebook. So just allow the knees to drop out to the side and have a rest and a stretch over those legs. Just a few rotations for the spine and to stretch through those inner thighs a little bit more to finish our session. Goes so quickly, 10 minutes. Gradually ease yourself out. We're going to go across towards the opposite knee. So one hand is behind you, one hand is reaching across towards the leg, the knee. You're going to ground your tailbone but lift through the crown of the head, and then scoop the tummy muscles as you rotate to look over your shoulder. So just getting a nice spinal rotation just to where you can. Breathing in to lengthen, exhale to rotate. And then gradually bring yourself back into the center, switching sides. So again, we're going across the body, reaching towards the shin or the knee, trying to find some length all the way through, and then rotating to look over your shoulder. Keep that going, keep the breath going, lengthening up and rotating around. And then gradually come into the center, Bring your knees in and extend your legs out. So we just turn around so you can see. And we'll just finish with a forward fold for those hamstrings. So pull the toes towards your shins. Take a deep breath in, arms come all the way up. And then find some length over and along the legs, going to where you can. Releasing, relaxing, and breathing. Now you can stay there for as long as you like.